Good morning. Welcome to our historical weapons program for this Monday morning. We have been working a lot on foundations of the Tai Chi Saber set as our study this time around, and last week we started into the opening of the set. We're going to continue into the opening movements of the set today while continuing to work on the strength of and accuracy of our cuts and chops, our parries and our thrusts, while we build up strength and mobility in both arms, and then integrate that into the set itself. So let's take a second just to get a little warmed up here. Let the head rise and fall. And looking from side to side. And we'll go ear to one shoulder and the other. First side. And the second. Let the head roll. Some gentle half circles. And then let's warm up the shoulders. We can roll them back. And then we can roll forward. Cross your arms, rise up, out to the sides and down. And then the other way. And we'll reach and lean to one side and to the other. Let those arms go nice and loose. Wrap around the body a bit. And a bit of shoulder stretch, as we're going to be working those shoulders with all our cuts. And same on the other side. Over the head and pull. And same on the other arm. Behind the back and pull. And same on the other side. Okay, that's a good shoulder warm-up. Palms face up, and palms face up. Think about it like your sword, cutting all the way around. So in, out, over and down one more time. And let's just take a moment to warm up the hips. Roll them around one way. And around the other. One more time, the first way. And the second. Good. Wrists can circle around one way. And around the other. Good. Let's pick up our weapons. So we've been working on the major cut directions. We talked about the importance of edge angle and cut angle meshing. So we don't want to be scalloping our wrists one way or the other. We don't want to be slapping with the blade. And that cutting has a pulling and drawing motion to it. So let's start out with some downwards diagonals. So we're cutting down 1 and back, 2, 3, 4, 5. And nice smooth transitions. Remember that those rollovers at the back, those are included in our deflections. 8, 9, and 10. We'll switch to the non-dominant arm. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. to the dominant arm, rising diagonals. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Try to start incorporating your legs, pushing from the ground. 8, 9, 10 to the non-dominant, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. Let's go back to our dominant arm, keep our work going, and into our horizontals. So this is where we're cutting across. We're going to see this a lot in the set, where we cut across and we allow that sword to wrap and sort of touch against the forearm, and then we push along the edge of the back side of the blade along the spine to come out. So we're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and we'll change those arms, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Yeah. Let's go to some chops today. So let's start with a vertical. So we're going to go down and back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We'll go to the non-dominant arm, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, we're going to go to that chopping idea, but we're going to make a bit of an arc to it this time. So we're going to come around and chop. So we're going to circle in the front and boom, chop out. 1 goes over the head. So we're kind of getting that same pressing motion that we were doing on our horizontals, and then chop out. So we're going to go circle, chop, circle, chop. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Seeing as we're working to get strength in both arms. On the other side, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, last one, and 10. Let's move to our drapes, those upper roof style motions. So we're going to go drape, and we're going to go to a chop from here too. So we're going to go drape over the non-sword arm and chop out. So we're going to go deflect, chop, deflect, chop. Now, why this other arm reaching? Because quite often the idea is to be able to seize the other person's weapon arm, or if they're working with a long weapon like a spear, try to be able to grab that spear and pull into the next motion. So around and chop, 2, let's do 5 more. 3, 4, really let it drape across your back. And you're kind of almost using that shoulder to roll the blade off of. Last one, around and out. Okay, so we're going to do this non-dominant arm. So we're going to come around, drape over the back, and chop. Around to chop. Around, reach, and chop. Reach, and chop. Oh, so much harder to get that coordination in the non-dominant arm. 5 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, let's go to some of the thrusting techniques. So the first one we're going to see in the set is this kind of rolling and driving where we're bringing the sword to a flat plane. We were talking last week about how there's kind of a couple levels to this. We could be edge down as we first start thrusting, and then we're spiraling so the edge goes sideways. So what we're going to do here is we're going to roll back and thrust out. And let's add a little bit of arm to this, like we'll start to see. So in the set, we're going to see this arm coming into 2 positions. One is going to be low, the other one's going to be high. We're going to practice the high one for now. So a little bit like brush knee step. We roll, and then we're thrusting out. So we roll back and thrust 2, deflect, and thrust. Deflect, and thrust. 4, 5. So remember we're talking about those walls. We're creating a wall, we're pushing something out of the way, and then we're thrusting back in. We're deflecting and pushing. Two more on this leg. 1 and 2. Let's take that to the other side. Gonna feel awkward, but we're gonna give it a shot. So again, that idea that if you're in a ready position here, that you're deflecting, you're creating a parry, a deflection off to the side before thrusting to come back in. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, last one, 10. Okay, so let's finish up with just a last exercise outside of just form work. And what we're going to do is we're going to start to take our downwards diagonals for a bit of a walk. So I want you to think about as stepping through. 1, stepping through, come back. Step through, sword arm side, come back as you step through. So you're pushing in with your legs. Then we're going to go backwards. We're going to step back. 1, 2, 1. Timing up so the body is pressing against the ground. So the leg is pressing against the ground, and that's whipping out to the sword. Let's go forwards. 1, 2. Get your diagonal. So you're cutting with the edge aligned with the diagonal of the cut. Push, push, push. Backwards. 1, 2, 3. Moving back. Okay, last of the non-dominant exercises for today. Same thing. Step through. Feel like you're pushing into the ground to help make that cut come through. You're pushing out of your legs. And then backwards. We'll make one more pass forwards, a couple of steps. Getting nice and comfortable with coordinating the weapon. So one of the things that they talk about with weapons work in our Kung Fu and our Tai Chi is that the weapon needs to feel not as separate from the body, but like an extension of all the mechanics and flow in the body end up in the sword. The sword doesn't direct those movements. The sword responds to what's going on in the body. Okay, so let's go to our cradled position. And let's work on that nice fluidity of being able to keep the sword connected to the arm while the blade is going behind the back and in the front. Behind the back and the front. So that tip is in the front side, back side. So we've got this nice flow. You could stagger your arms, a bit like you'll get this later in the set where it's like shoot the tiger from the empty hand forms. You could get both arms rolling at the same time. A couple more. Now, one of the positions we want to end up in, it's almost like you could think about punching with the pommel and levering up and through with the blade. So at the beginning of the set, we're going to have this in front of the chest and nicely parallel to the floor. So we want to be able to roll back to here. And at the same time, let's start to integrate some movements from the form. We're going to go brush against the hip, extend out the sword, roll back, and hand over head, and cradling the sword. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3. Come out. If you want to, you can place your hand underneath, and we go 1, 2, 3. Come back. 1, 2, 3. Come back. Last one. 1, brush. 2, scoop around. 3, settling in. Okay, so time is doing its timey thing, disappearing fast. Let's start out with our opening postures from the set. So I'm going to do this both facing forward and facing back. I'm going to start facing back because that's a little easier to follow, but we'll face forward to get some details. So our first movements here, we're going to expand out wide. So there's that sword coming along the back, up over the head. We're going to settle both the sword hand and the open hand as we weight the right leg and step out with the left. We're going to leave this right hand where it is, and we're going to pivot up onto the ball of the right foot, weighting the left leg. Now we push out of the left leg. We're reaching. Here's what we were just kind of doing with that sword. Reaching back, cutting up, and settling. And this is where we stomp the floor. Now we're going to let that sword swing down, and we're going to step out with the right leg, and we're going to go fist on top of fist. 1 potato, 2 potato. Here. Now the right hand, as we step back, it's going to brush the right hip. The left hand's going to come up into that arc where we cut up from underneath. And just like the exercise we did, the right hand's going to be up over the head. From here, we're going to turn the trunk. Remember we were talking at the beginning lessons about that sandwiching of the sword, releasing so that we can transfer from one hand to the other. So at this point, as we reach forward, we're going to make that transfer, but we're going to keep the sword resting on our elbow and forearm. We're then going to be able to come underneath to touch the wrist, just like we've been doing in the openings, where we've been going 1 and cutting across and kind of catching here. We want to do the same thing. We're going to come across to catch. So let's give that a bit of a try up to that point again. So we're going to go out, down, step out, pivot on the right, roll back, cut up, stomp. Step forward with the right, present. Step back with the right, brush the hip, circle the sword. Sandwich, lift up the left leg. And we've got this kind of nice triangulation of the arms here. And we're going to step forward. We're going to lift up the right leg, and we're going to cut with one of our horizontal cuts low. But we're going to finish here. We're not going to let that ease all the way out. We're going to finish with the fingertips and the sword tip facing in towards the knee and under the patella area. We're going to do one more piece for today. We're going to step out with the right leg. We're going to get that stirring of the pot, that deflection out. We're going to brush as we lift up the left leg. And then we're going to get that thrust. We're going to thrust out. Left hand is kind of parallel height to the right, to the sword, and the sword is thrusting forward and out. Okay, let's set that up again. So we're going to go 1, 2, step out, shift the weight, lift up with the sword, circle the sword in, weight goes back into right leg, stomping left. Drop the sword, step out, cradle one hand on top of the other. As you step back, right hand brushes the hip, left hand circles up, and right hand ends up over the head. Left hand is parallel to the floor with some distance between the body and the weapon. From here, we're going to turn the trunk square. We're going to roll the palm into the wrist. We're going to lift up. We're going to step out, and we're going to cut low. We're then going to step in as we drop the sword to deflect and push out. We're going to take another step forward. We're going to brush the left hip. We're going to circle the left hand palm out, and we're going to thrust forward. So we've got that flat blade, and we're thrusting in the front. One more time with my back turned, and then I'm going to change angles on this one. So we have 1, 2, to step out, lift, come under, and stomp. Step through, present, roll back, brush the right hip, circulate with the left arm, right hand overhead. Square up the torso, exchange the hands as you lift the left leg. As you step out, push along the blade, cut low on the horizontal. Deflect as you step with the right leg. Brush the left as you step through and thrust. Okay, I'll do that facing this direction just so you can get it, some details from the other angle. So we're going to go out and down, and we're going to step out. Turn, come underneath, draw back and stomp, come through, touch, brush as you step back, circulate around, lift up as you draw in, step out, step through as you cut, step down to deflect, step through as you scoop through and thrust. So we've presented the sword, we've made our salutations, and now we get our first cuts. We get a low horizontal, a deflection, and a thrust down the center. Let's try it again from this angle. So 1, 2, step out, pivot, roll back, and stomp. Step forward, touch and 7-star, present. Step back, circulate the sword in and the right hand over the head. Gather up, pick up the sword, knee up high with the left. Step through, cut, knee up high and crane with the right. Step in, deflect, step through, and thrust. And this time the hands are kind of at a parallel height. Good. One last time from this angle. So we have open and down. Step out. 1, 2, stomp. Step through, touch. Roll back, brush, circle the sword. Reach in to exchange the hand, lift up, winding up, stepping through, cutting low, stepping out, deflecting, stepping forward, brush, and thrust. Good. I don't think we'll add more there today. Let's do a couple more rounds through, and then we'll look at if we got time, we'll look at a skill drill to help us get ready for the next piece. So one more, another time from facing this direction, better for follow along. 1, 2, stepping out. Weight transfers to left, we pivot the right. Weight transfers into right, we're bringing the sword around and in. We stomp. We come forward and present. We step back, brushing the right hip, circulating through. And then picking that, exchanging the hands. Nice balance, lift, wind up. Step, cut through, low, deflect, brush, thrust. So we're scooping that through like we were just doing earlier. Boom, in for that thrust. One last time on that today. So got our opening, 1, 2, and step, pivot, come under, roll back, stomp, come through, present, gather, roll back, exchange the sword hand, step out, cut low, deflect, brush, and thrust. And then we're going to look next week at how to roll back and step in to deflect something off to the side. So we're going to get that other hand pressing and pushing out to the side. So we're going to augment our deflection. So here we had this sort of hand with the sword, but we're going to get those to kind of connect up and push together next week as we leave our first thrusting technique and we head over to deflect, deflect, lift, lift, and chop. And that's what we'll try to put in there next week for you. All right, Thanks for training hard today. If you're here and you've got questions, things you want details on, let's talk about that. If you're not, if you're catching it on YouTube or on the archive, come and send me a text or email about what you'd like to see in the next lesson for some clarity for your own study. Okay, thanks for training today.